Alright, welcome back to another NovNov technical video. We are in our Kali virtual machine probably for the last time this month. I wanted to show off one more Docker thing before we get back to a DigitalOcean review, because Docker is something you can even use in DigitalOcean to have more flexibility of your droplet, your services, and your containers. So the thing that we're going to take a look at now is Docker Compose. This is how you can use a file to build the stuff you're looking for. So I'm going to pull down one of my labs really quick so that we can use it as an example. Feel free, this is a public one. It's not great, but it is a decent example. So feel free to pull it down to get that RU lab. And then if we ls in there, we'll see we've got a couple of files. We've got a README that has some instructions, but I'm just going to cat that docker-yml. So docker-compose.yml. And this is all it is. It says, hey, I need to update that version. These are the services that I want. I want an Ubuntu vuln that builds using the Docker file that I have put together and has these ports and is on this network. Then I've got my Rocky Linux target. I meant to call that vuln as well. Anyway. And it is also built from a Docker file, gives it a name, gives it some ports, similar open protocols, different base ports they're running on, so it doesn't have a confliction with my host. And then last but not least, I'm also building an attacker container. So even if you're not in Kali Linux, if you're in DigitalOcean on Ubuntu or CentOS or any of that stuff, you can use Docker. And in this case, I'm not using a Docker file. I am just using a direct image. So I'm just grabbing the latest Kali and then throwing it up and running it. And this is all over the bridge, so it's not something that we're true Ethernet switching with, so you can't use tools like ARPscan or anything like that. But I'll go ahead and cat that Docker file. Let's look at the Ubuntu one. So this is how it configures the device, right? So it's going to install and update a bunch of stuff, clean it up. Then it's going to create users, obviously very insecure, but then it's going to set it up so that we can access some stuff over there. Same thing if I cat the Docker file for Rocky. It is going to configure. It is going to configure accounts. It's also going to set up some FTP. So using VSFTP for anonymous access and other vulnerabilities if you want to dive in. But the reason why we do this is, right, we just have all of this in this one area. So if I do sudo docker compose up, if you're on an older version, this is what you'll use, is the docker-compose. If you're on a newer version, or if you've pulled it down directly, you can do docker compose like that. Services, Rocky Alex, attacker, not. Oh, did I misconfigure? Let me double check. Did some updates last night. Yeah, I have it too far tabbed, so let's go ahead and fix that really quick. I'll try and update that on my Git repository, but you know, things take time. So docker-compose.yml. And then I'll go down here. Indentation is important. You got to make sure they're all on the right line. So now the attacker should be lined up with one more. All right. See if that works. There we go. So, like I said, I need to update the version still. I didn't really want to do that right now. So what is it going to do? It's going to pull the most recent Kali Linux, and then it's going to build everything using definitions that are local and through the container. So this is going to take some time depending on how much stuff you put in your Docker files. As an example, I have both Rocky and Ubuntu doing a full update and install and then adding more stuff. So this can take a few seconds. Go ahead and let it run, and once it stops doing stuff, you'll be able to tell when it's ready, but you won't want to close your terminal. I'll show you guys why in a second, and we're going to speed up this part. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. This is about where you will see it start to pause, and we need to leave this up and running because we didn't do it detached or in the background. So let's go ahead and minimize, pull up a new terminal, and do sudo docker ps. I don't know how to type my password. And we'll see that we have the RU lab running and our Kali Linux. So this is where we can go ahead and do a little bit of the fanciness that we did earlier. We could use the names directly. So let's go ahead and do sudo docker exec Kali attacker. Okay. Or not bash, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go ahead and do sudo docker exec and then a command. So like ping ubuntu vuln. Path not known. All right. Let's go ahead and get in there then. Docker run it Kali attacker zsh. Oh, right. I can't remember what I was trying to do a second ago. But let's go ahead and take a look. Now we have, clear my screen, sudo docker ps. We have 3 containers that are running, 2 of which are vulnerable targets, and the third is the, excuse me, Kali machine. So we've got Ubuntu vuln, Rocky vuln, and Kali attacker. You can verify that they are all there and working just by using your Docker commands, so like docker exec, and then I could do Ubuntu vuln, and then I'll say uname space -a to get all of that information. Oh, that did it as me. Oh, gotta love tinnitus. So we have our containers. They have ports open. If I were to scan my host right now with -p-, we should see those pop up. And yeah, we can see that we have a bunch of ports and protocols. The service identified is not correct. Right? What if we throw service version at the end of that, see if it can get a little bit more information, because this service column nmap is just pulling from what it thinks based on the ports that are found. It's not an intelligent mapping, it's a static one. So that is one way that you can need to learn a little bit more. So the reason for this is you can use Docker Compose to build small cybersecurity labs or to run services inside of containers so that you don't have to touch them directly. And let's go ahead and scroll up. So some TCP wrapped, we see that this is VSFTPD. We've got OpenSSH, TCP wrapped, and Apache. So one way to do this is you could just grab this port number. If you find something running Apache on an alternate port, let's go ahead and open up our browser. And then from here, we'll just type local host. Was it 8081? I think it was 8081. 8082. So there is also 8081. But we'll do 8082. Welcome. I didn't make an actual website. Sorry if you were expecting something better than that. And then on this one, the connection was reset. So there's something else going on there that we would need to do. But all of these ports are open. You can try to connect to them. So like, for example, 2122, we do FTP localhost. Oh, right. It was P21. And then now we're connected. Or we're not connected, but we have an attempt that we can try. So FTP is open, HTTP is open, there's a Golang net server, there's SSH with some vulnerabilities in there. There's a ton if you guys want to use this lab. But the main goal here was just to show off the Docker Compose. And when you're done, you can either, from your terminal, do Docker Compose down, or if you go back to the other one, a Control-C will attempt to gracefully shut it down. If you guys want to use that lab that I showed off, you are more than welcome to, or you can make your own. You can look around. There are plenty of Docker Compose files out there that'll pull stuff for you. But that's just what you're looking for, is that stopped. So now if I do sudo docker ps, I don't have anything running, and that is all for today's NovNov technical video.